This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, the New York Knicks take on the Los Angeles Lakers on TNT at 7:30 p.m. I think this is going to be a good one. The stars are coming out for this one, ladies and gentlemen, because the Los Angeles Lakers have a lot of stars. Carmelo Anthony, to name one. Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis. Of course, LeBron James is suspended for tonight's game, so you won't see LeBron James out in a Lakers uniform tonight. This is the Game Day pregame show, ladies and gentlemen. For all your up-to-date sports content and betting odds, make sure you head over to Game Day. So before you place those bets tonight for any of tonight's games, get on over to Game Day. Check out, see what's happening, see what's going on. And then you can link to your favorite betting site right from the Game Day. So go check it out. The link is in the description of this video. You can like their YouTube channel. You can check out their website. We'll have some people on soon enough. Some of our panelists to, talk about tonight's game. But until then, let's go ahead and let's jump right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's check out the official injury report from the NBA. This was put out today at 2 o'clock. 2:30, that is. Sorry about that. For the Los Angeles Lakers, Trevor Ariza, he's been out for the entire season. He remains out. Anthony Davis is actually questionable with flu-like symptoms for tonight. Non-COVID related. So we'll see how much of an impact that has on this game. The Los Angeles Lakers probably need Anthony Davis to be there, right? They're 9-9 on the season. They're not playing up to par. I'm sure they don't want to fall below 500. You miss out on LeBron James. He's not there. If Anthony Davis isn't there, that's tough. Of course, LeBron James is out, like I said earlier, due to league suspension. And then Kendrick Nunn, he's been out. Don't know when he's coming back. For the New York Knicks, Taj Gibson, he's doubtful for tonight. Mitchell Robinson is out, and that's leaving us very, very thin at that center position. Nerlens Noel, he'll be the starting center tonight. After that, looks like we'll be going small ball unless Tom Thibodeau decides to go with Jericho Sims. He hasn't done a lot of that. He hasn't gone to him a lot. Not sure how much he actually trusts the kid yet. He's a hard worker. Tom Thibodeau says so. Just not sure how much he trusts Jericho Sims. Derrick Rose is questionable tonight with a sore right ankle. That means our bench takes a hit. Because Derrick Rose is by far the leader of the bench. So we'll see if Derrick Rose is going to be there tonight and what this squad is going to do if Derrick Rose is not there and how the bench reacts to it. I mean, you got Emmanuel Quickly, you have Obi Toppin and Alec Burks, all those guys playing well. Who steps in, if anybody? Most likely it'll be Quentin Grimes stepping in and getting a couple of minutes if Derrick Rose is going to be out. I'm looking forward to the bench. I want the bench to win the matchup tonight. Derrick Rose is critical to that, but he's questionable, he's got a sore right ankle, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. Bet you'll be fine. That's the injury report right now. As of right now, ladies and gentlemen, as of 2:30 p.m., that is the injury report. Looking at the starting lineups for tonight, for the New York Knicks, you got the same starting lineup: Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and Nerlens Noel. And then for the Los Angeles Lakers, Russell Westbrook, Avery Bradley, which I spelled incorrectly, but you get it. Carmelo Anthony at that small forward spot, Anthony Davis, and then DeAndre Jordan. Normally it would be LeBron James at that small forward spot, and Carmelo Anthony would come off the bench. Without LeBron James being in the building, I cannot see Melo not starting, not at MSG versus the New York Knicks. Pretty positive Melo's going to be starting tonight in that small forward spot. That means R.J. Barrett, he's got a lot to deal with. It's not the same Carmelo Anthony that you're used to. We know that, but his shooting percentages this year are crazy. Carmelo Anthony is stroking the basketball this season. R.J. Barrett's going to have to be on his game. And I wouldn't put it past the Los Angeles Lakers to try to capitalize on Carmelo's veteranism and R.J. Barrett's inexperience and get Carmelo Anthony, posting up in that mid-post on R.J. Barrett and seeing what R.J. can do. If I was the Lakers, I would do that. Just to see how R.J. Barrett responds. If he responds well and he's playing good defense, then I go elsewhere. You got Anthony Davis. But if he doesn't respond well, and Carmelo Anthony's winning the matchup, then I keep going to it. There's a lot of matchups to look at tonight, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of matchups that we got to pay attention to. Of course, Kemba Walker and Russell Westbrook, that's going to be a big matchup. That's one of my key matchups for the evening. It's one of my key matchups. We're going to talk about those key matchups in a little bit. I got 3 key matchups: Kemba Walker and Russell Westbrook, R.J. Barrett and Carmelo Anthony, and, of course, Julius Randle and Anthony Davis. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But before we get to it, I want to take a look at the team comparison. Right? Jerry Fitz said he thinks Horton Tucker will start and Melo off the bench. We'll see how it goes. It could be. You could be right. Let's take a look at the team comparison for the night and what their numbers are so far for the season. The Knicks averaging 107.3 points per game. The Los Angeles Lakers are averaging 109.9 points per game. I think the Knicks offense has looked better recently. I did a whole breakdown on Kemba Walker and Julius Randle and the chemistry that it looks like they're building. I hope it continues tonight. And my hope is that their chemistry begins to open up the offense if they can build some chemistry between the two players. But as of right now in the season, the New York Knicks are averaging 107.3 points per game. The Los Angeles Lakers are averaging 45.8 rebounds per game. The New York Knicks, 45.3, pretty close. The Lakers, 24 assists per game. The Knicks, 22 assists per game. 8.6 steals for the Lakers, 7.1 for the New York Knicks. 6.1 blocks for the Lakers, 6.5 for the Knicks. The Lakers are, so far this season, surprisingly, a high turnover team. That's not something that I expect from a team that has LeBron. But, of course, you got Russell Westbrook out there. So, Russell Westbrook is a turnover guy. He plays so fast and so hard, sometimes he can't control himself. He turns the basketball over. The Knicks are a low turnover team, 13.1 turnovers per game. It's always good to take care of the basketball, but you've also got to convert buckets when you're taking care of the basketball. The Knicks so far this season are not shooting really well. Shooting 44.1% from the field. The Lakers are shooting 46.1% from the field. The Lakers, not a great three-point shooting team. They're shooting 34.8% from three, while the Knicks are shooting 36.4% from three. The Knicks averaging about 37 three-pointers per game. Recently, past couple of games, they've looked to go a little bit more inside. I don't know if it's because of the fact that they haven't been shooting the three ball very well, or they played teams that were a little bit smaller. Well, the Chicago Bulls were a little bit smaller, and they figured they needed to go inside more. Julius Randle had 34 points against the Chicago Bulls, did a lot of his work inside the paint. As a matter of fact, I think he only took 2 3-pointers versus the Chicago Bulls. And by comparison, a couple of games ago, he took 11 shots and 10 of them were threes. Since then, he's made a more of an effort to get inside. And I think that's what Julius Randle's got to do. He's got to make a bigger effort to play inside. The Lakers shooting 74.7% from the free throw line. The Knicks shooting 76.2% from the three-point line. Points in the paint, the Lakers 46.1, the Knicks 43.2. Second chance points, the Lakers 10.6, the Knicks 13.6. And that's an area right there. Those second chance points, the Knicks have been giving up second chance points this season, allowing teams to get offensive rebounds, giving up second chance points. You play good defense, you give up second chance points, it demoralizes your defense. Now, the Lakers are a team that have the potential to rebound well with Anthony Davis and other big boy down there. Can't think of his name right now. Center off the bench. You got DeAndre Jordan. He can rebound the basketball. Dwight Howard, that's who I'm thinking of. So they got guys who can rebound the basketball, ladies and gentlemen. They got people who can rebound the basketball. So, the Knicks, I'm going to talk about rebounding when we talk about the keys to the game, but, they've got to be on their P's and Q's when it comes to grabbing defensive rebounds and not allowing the Lakers to get offensive rebounds all night long. Because if you do that, you're going to demoralize your defense and, you're allowing them to up their scoring percentage as well as put points on the board. The Lakers average 15 fast break points per game. The Knicks average just about 12 fast break points per game. The Lakers led in scoring by Anthony Davis at 24.6. Of course, the Knicks are led by Julius Randle at 20.4. Anthony Davis leads the Lakers in rebounds at 10.5. Julius Randle leads the Knicks at 10. Russell Westbrook, he leads the Lakers in assists at 8.7. Julius Randle leads the Knicks at 5.1. Mitchell Robinson, who is out tonight, leads the Knicks in blocks at 1.67. But, of course, Nerlens Noel is an elite shot blocker. And to Anthony Davis, he's also an elite shot blocker. That's a breakdown, a little bit of a breakdown, ladies and gentlemen, of, just a game comparison. And we got Steph in the building. Joining us, Steph. What's your thoughts on this game right now? I don't know if you heard all of the numbers, the breakdown of the numbers, but, just some initial thoughts on this game.
I mean, I think can you hear me, Sam?
Yeah. Yep.
I think we should be able to win this game. But you know what, Sam? I really wish LeBron was there. I wish AD, who's questionable, is there. You just want a good win over a quality team so you could feel good about yourself.
Right.
That being said, we'll take them however we can get them.
Exactly. However they come, we just take it. You know what I mean? If we got to beat up a hurt team, we just beat up a hurt team. We need the wins. We need as many wins as possible. This 3-game stretch, you talked about it on the Queen's Court last night. The Lakers, who was it? The Lakers, Phoenix, and then Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a tough 3-game stretch. I tend to think the Knicks do have the ability to grab 2 of them. I think they can beat the Lakers and they can beat Atlanta. Phoenix is going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
But we got to start off doing it tonight You know,
Right.
We know LeBron James is out. So, I mean, have you heard anything more about Anthony Davis, or is just we still just know it's questionable?
Still questionable,
Yeah.
as far as I know. Yeah.
And if Anthony Davis is out, who do you think starts in his for him in his place?
I think they would have to go with Dwight and go big. I'm trying to think who else. Or DeAndre Jordan. I see what you're saying. DeAndre Jordan is already starting. So they'll probably move Carmelo to the 4.
Move Melo to the 4 and start Taylor Hutt.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Horton Tucker. Start Horton Tucker at the 2 to 3 or whatever it is. Right. Someone in the chat said that they think they're probably going to start Horton Tucker and leave Melo on the bench anyway. They might. I don't know. I mean, I just kind of feel like, with it being in the Garden, they might say, hey, we're going to go ahead and start Melo against R.J. Barrett, see if he can take advantage of R.J. Barrett a little bit.
Right. If Anthony Davis plays, they would definitely be matched up against each other.
If Anthony Davis plays, yeah. If Anthony Davis doesn't play, then it would be Melo and Julius Randle.
Right. Oh, that should be.
So
that would be a good one.
That'd be a fun one. That'd be a fun one. That'd be a real fun one. And so I have my key matchups. Of course, one of my first key matchup is Kemba Walker and Russell Westbrook. And Kemba Walker averages more than 1.7 points per game, ladies and gentlemen. That's more like 11.7 points per game. All right.
It seems like that, though.
Without a doubt, it seems like that. What do you think about that matchup?
Sam, we could say the same thing with pretty much every matchup. He's going to be overmatched on most nights, particularly on this night. I mean, Russell Westbrook is getting older, but he's still bigger, stronger, faster, and he still attacks. Yeah. He does take a little more threes now, than in the past, but he still attacks. And if LeBron is out of the game, it's going to be a heavy dose of Russell Westbrook.
A heavy dose of Russell Westbrook. And, I just don't think that Kemba Walker can handle Russell Westbrook attacking him. And I'm pretty sure they're going to tell Russ to attack Kemba Walker all night long.
Right.
All night long. That could be a long night for Kemba. You know what I mean?
No, I think it's going to be a short night for him.
Well, yeah, a short night. Yeah. You're right. A short night for Kemba. The issue is if Derrick Rose is questionable, he's questionable for tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Right? And Russell Westbrook is chewing up Kemba. What do we do?
I think he's going to bring in Burke. I don't even think IQ's defense is really good, but Russ, how tall is Russ? Like 6'5"?
I think he's 6'4".
6'4"? He just so. Wow.
He plays, but I mean, he plays so aggressive. You know what I mean? But I think he's 6'4". Right? Okay. So
okay.
Derrick Rose would match up well with him. I mean, I still don't think Derrick Rose can stay in front of him. But at least he can put pressure on Russell Westbrook as well.
Right.
I don't even know if Kemba is able to put pressure on Russell Westbrook. Not the kind of pressure that's going to make Russell Westbrook really work hard unless you're just running him around a million screens. Right. Westbrook is 6'3".
Really?
6'3", yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe Burke?
I got Burks. I don't know if he's going to trust Quentin Grimes to guard Westbrook at all. I mean, I could see Quentin Grimes getting some playing time, but not against Westbrook. Probably only in that second unit. right? Westbrook would look at him and say, okay, I'm about to eat this rookie alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Quentin Grimes might be stargazing.
Right.
You know, like, wow, I'm guarding Russell Westbrook. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't be a good idea. So the only other person would be Alec Burks. You know, finding a way to put Alec Burks on him if those type of roads, if you have to, if he's just eating Kemba Walker alive, then you might have to. Josh was talking about third quarter substitutions, right? Starting a different lineup. Tonight could be at night. If Kemba Walker's getting chewed up, that he says, all right, let me just throw Alec Burks in here.
Right.
So he can guard Russell Westbrook.
You're right. You're right. And even for a rookie, shout out to Andy who wants Deuce. I'm not sure you do that to a rookie. You don't play them all season and then you bring them out against Russell Westbrook.
You don't do that. You don't do that. No, you don't do that because Russell Westbrook is going to be licking his chops. You know what I mean?
No doubt about it.
You know, looking to attack one of these rookies, man. You definitely don't do that. Russell Westbrook is averaging 19.2 points, 8.2 rebounds, 8.7 assists. Yeah, he's shooting 43% from the field, only 29% from the three-point line, and 66.3% from the free throw line.
And still averaging almost 20 points with low efficiency.
Low efficiency, still averaging almost 20 points. Right. And Kemba, he's got great efficiency from the three-point line, and he's actually shooting like 5 a game, and he's shooting 41.7% from the three-point line. But because of his defense, he's, like you said, his minutes are going down. He's not getting a lot of minutes out there.
Right.
You know, so he's averaging 11.7 points, 2.4 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 43.1% from the field and 41.7% from the three-point line. 73.7% from the free throw line. We'll see what that matchup is going to look like. That's going to be an interesting one. Carmelo Anthony and R.J. Barrett. I'm assuming that Carmelo Anthony is going to start. And when I made these key matchups, I had Anthony Davis starting at power forward.
Right.
And then, Melo coming in for LeBron. Now, whoever it was in the chat, I forgot who it was, who said that Horton Tucker might start. That could be. And bring Melo off the bench. That could be. At some point, I still think R.J. Barrett and Carmelo Anthony are going to be a key matchup against each other in this game. You know what I mean? If that means you're putting R.J. Barrett in the second unit a little bit, especially with Derrick Rose being questionable and likely out if he's questionable, you could still see a lot of R.J. Barrett, Carmelo Anthony. So I think these two guys are going to match up both around the same height. Maybe Melo's a little bit taller. Obviously, he has the experience on R.J. R.J. Barrett's averaging 15 points a game, 6 rebounds, 2.4 assists, shooting 39% from the field, 30% from 3, and 72.2% from the free throw line. Melo, on the other hand, is averaging 15 points a game, 4 rebounds, just under 1 assist per game. He's shooting 47% from the field and 46.1% from 3.
Wow.
And he's shooting 81.6% from the free throw line. Imagine if Melo had that efficiency when he played for the Knicks. That'd have been crazy. But hey, he's adjusted his game so far this season, to play with LeBron and those guys. And I'm looking forward to see these guys match up because I want to see R.J. Barrett have success against a guy like Melo.
Yeah.
I'm sure a guy that he's watched and looked up to his whole career. And, Melo, is going to try to, they might try to feature Melo a little bit to go after R.J. Barrett to see how R.J. Barrett's going to respond. And I would like to see him respond well, defend him well, and then come back at him.
Yeah, that's the key. Come back at him. Because if R.J. plays passive, he's going to lose the matchup.
Yeah, exactly. And if he plays passive, Melo's the kind of guy that's going to be like, oh, he's scared a little bit. Now I'm really going to go at him. You know what I'm saying? I think R.J. Barrett can defend Melo, though. Melo's never had speed. He doesn't jump high. You know, I think it's going to be because of the way that they use him. It could be a little bit different tonight with LeBron not being there. But the way that they use him, he's doing a lot of catch and shoot. So RJ is going to have to be on his rotation.
Right.
You know, and really paying attention to where Melo is on the court outside that three-point line because he's shooting 46.1%.
Right.
You know, RJ's going to have to be there and be ready. But I think RJ's going to be up for that challenge if it comes down to it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing about Melo is that his shots wasn't really about him being fast.
Right.
He was just quick and just being able to set up his shot with his footwork and his handle and being able to take a step back and just create just enough space to get his shot off. So I'm looking forward to the matchup myself.
Yeah. And then my next key matchup, if Anthony Davis is playing, is Julius Randle and Anthony Davis. Right? Of course, they played together in New Orleans. They know each other well. I think Julius Randle feels confident playing against Anthony Davis. You know, that he can score against him. He played well against him last season. If they match up tonight, I think he'll play well against them tonight again. Randle's averaging 20.4 points per game, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. His shooting percentages are down, 42.2% from the field, 35.3% from three, 76.1% from the free throw line. And Anthony Davis, he's averaging 24.6 points per game, 10.5 rebounds, 3.1 assists. He's shooting 52.2% from the field and only 17.1% from three. Yeah. I'll let him stand out there a little bit. Let's see what happens. 17.1% from three, and he's shooting 76.8% from the free throw line. Wow. He's questionable for tonight, though. He's questionable. So if we don't see Anthony Davis, then we see Julius Randle and Carmelo Anthony. And I don't think, I don't think Melo can really guard Anthony if he's taking him down low. If he's out on the perimeter, he might be able to guard him. But down low, I think Julius Randle is going to be stronger and should be faster than Carmelo. But if they go out on the perimeter, Melo's never been great guarding out on a perimeter, but, Julius Randle, I think Melo can outsmart him out there, defensively.
Yeah. And even in the post, I still don't think Randle gets as much leverage as he can get in terms of backing his person down. But you would think that Julius would win that matchup with Carmelo unless Carmelo just hits a few. And once he starts going crazy, it's a wrap.
Right. Then it could be tough. Now with Anthony Davis, Anthony Davis, it's something about Anthony Davis. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, a lot of people say he's soft and things like that. I mean, maybe he is. I don't know. But I always feel like when I'm watching and he's playing, it's been a few games where I feel like he just like really dominated it. But I never feel like he's dominating the game.
Right.
And it's like, I don't fear that he's out there on the floor, like fear what he's going to do.
Right.
I don't know why. I don't know what it is. What about you? What do you think about Anthony Davis?
I mean, at the end of the night, his counting stats are good. He puts up big numbers, but you're right. I'm more afraid of Russell Westbrook, even though Westbrook is getting up there in age, just his ability to get into the key and draw fouls. And the last time they played, Julius Randle actually outplayed him that last game in LA, if I remember correctly. It just depends on which Julius. If it's the Chicago Julius, then we should win that matchup. If it's the inefficient, clunky Julius, nah, we're not winning that matchup.
Probably not winning that matchup. What about the bench matchup? How do you feel about that?
I mean, they have a lot of people, a lot of names on their bench, but I think our bench has more cohesion. And I think anybody on our bench could light it up. Who's playing on the bench for them? I know they got if Horton isn't playing, I guess he would come off the bench. Monk will come off the bench.
Monk will come off the bench. Let me see. I'm gonna get a better rundown of their bench in just a second. So on their bench right now, you got Dwight Howard, you got Wayne Ellington, you got Horton Tucker coming off the bench, Malik Monk. Rondo maybe gets a few minutes here and there. He might get some minutes tonight because LeBron is out.
Right.
So Rondo may see some minutes. Yeah, that's basically their bench. Horton Tucker, Wayne Ellington, Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, Malik Monk, Rondo. They got Kent Bazemore. He depends on if he's going to get time or whatever. Now,
Right.
I believe Austin Reeves, I think he's on the injury list.
Okay.
Right? He's a guy that every time I watch a Lakers game, it looks funny, right? Because you see Melo and LeBron and Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis, and then this white guy runs out there, Austin Reeves, right? But he's balling. He's out tonight. He's actually out tonight with a left hamstring strain. But he's balling. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
And he's out there playing with those guys. But I'm always looking like, who the heck is this dude? But he's out there putting in work.
Yeah, I think a game I saw, he played pretty well.
Yeah, out there putting in work. But he's not playing tonight, so that's, that probably hurts them and hurts their bench. I'm assuming he comes off the bench. He actually might be starting at the shooting guard spot. He's 6'5". I think he might be starting at that shooting guard spot. I'm not sure. And normally, but he's not playing tonight. One area of concern for me with the bench is the rebounding, though. They got Dwight Howard, who can rebound in basketball. Nerlens Noel is going to be starting at center for us. So that means we don't have Mitch. We don't have Taj. Our bench is small.
Yeah.
Our bench is small. Our tallest player off the bench, if he doesn't use Jericho Sims, is Obi Toppin.
Right.
So, I guess, they're going to have to find a way, either use Jericho Sims or use Julius in that second unit, use RJ in that second unit, and maybe Nerlens Noel a little bit.
I think he'll mix it up. I think we'll see Sims tonight. I'm not sure if he's willing from the beginning to just commit to Noel and small ball.
Right.
I would be shocked if he did that.
Right. So, on a normal basis, I would think with Derrick Rose being there, our bench has the upper hand with Derrick Rose being out. Is Carmelo inserted into the starting lineup? Maybe either Carmelo or Horton Tucker. So they're still taking a key piece off the bench. I think our bench should win that matchup.
Yeah. And it's always predicated on them coming to play and playing well.
Right. Of course, coming to play and playing well. Looking at my keys to the game tonight, I think one is to stay loose. Right. We've been, I think there's some pressure on the team, to win some basketball games. They know they got a tough stretch coming up. They're 9-8. Lose this game, they can fall to 500. But I think they got to stay loose and try not to let that pressure build up.
Right.
And not play tight. And they're at home. And it's, it should be that they come home and, that helps take some pressure off of them. But they haven't been playing well at home. They know if they start to lose, one, they might get booed. And then two, if Carmelo is playing well, the fans might start chanting for Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, I hope not.
You know what I'm saying? So, we just got to stay loose and go out there and play. I think we got to worry about playing team basketball and not worry about star power. right? They may not have as much star power tonight because of injuries and LeBron being out. But I think we got to focus on team and not star power. I think we got to help Kemba on Westbrook because, Westbrook, especially with LeBron being out, and then if AD is out, Westbrook is going to try to go ham. I'm trying. You already know it. Triple-double coming. I think we got a gang rebound tonight. They're big, especially if Anthony Davis is there. You got DeAndre Jordan, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard. They can be really big. And then especially in that second unit, like I was saying earlier. And then protect the lead. Got to protect the lead and have fourth quarter execution, which have been, two of our Achilles heels this season so far. Any other keys that you can think of, or anything that you think we really need to pay attention to?
I mean, I think what I would add is don't lose this game. It is going to be so demoralizing if AD and LeBron doesn't play and we lose. It's going to be really demoralizing. So we have to win. But also, like you said, I see us having a lead in the fourth quarter, but like you said, protecting the lead, protecting, and that means taking good shots, not turning the ball over, not forcing shots, and going back to number one, staying loose. If it's a tight game in the fourth quarter, you start thinking about losing as opposed to winning, and you get a little tight and start making poor decisions. So that can't happen.
Right. Exactly. Let me really quick, before I get to this phone call, I'll just be patient 1 second, caller. Uncle Fulio said, hindsight being 2020, and thank you for the super chat. He said, hindsight being 2020, Melo would have been a great addition for us, not just on the floor, but maybe as a mentor to Julius and RJ and the pressures of New York. Look, I was a proponent of bringing Melo back. That's without a doubt, as a player to come off the bench to add to that second unit. But I'll say this. If Melo would have came back and we were going through the stretch that we're going through right now, everybody would have said, see, as soon as Melo comes back, we start playing bad, the chemistry's off, and all of that. I can guarantee that would have been the first thing people said, whether it was his fault or not. You already know that. But I think Leon Rose wanted Melo back too, but Melo had other plans. I'll call you live. Tell me your name and where you from.
Yo, Sim, what's good, bro? It's JJ from Brooklyn. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you feeling,
bro?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. How you doing, Steph? How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Yeah, definitely, man. I'm definitely looking forward to this game. I'm really looking forward to the Randle and Anthony Davis matchup if he plays. I know he's questionable now, right, Davis? Because I remember last year, the game in LA, if you remember, they went at it. It was just a great matchup between the two of them. So I'm hoping Davis plays. I know obviously it would help us a ton if he's out. Obviously LeBron is out too, and I just really want this game just because there's going to be a ton of Laker fans. So just to shut them up would be really nice. There are going to be a lot of them at the Garden. I'm definitely worried about Kemba and Westbrook. We definitely just got to let Westbrook to stay on that perimeter. We got to keep him out of the paint. I know Kemba's not the quickest, so Westbrook's not a great shooter, obviously. So if you could just keep him on that perimeter, let him shoot threes, I think, without LeBron, it's going to be a ton of Westbrook and Davis if he's in. They're going to take a ton of shots. Horton Tucker's been playing really well. The games LeBron was out, like 3 or 4 games. I know he was playing great basketball, man, great ball. I know he was out a lot early in the year, but he was really playing well. He was starting for LeBron, I believe, when LeBron was out for a few games when he first came back, and then he went to the bench when LeBron came back. But the main thing I actually wanted to talk about was my thing is with this starting lineup, right? The thing that really concerns me is we're just so slow. Our most athletic player in the starting lineup is Mitch when he's healthy. We're very slow on the wing. That's the thing with RJ and Fournier. You need athletes at the wing spots. They're both very slow. They're not guys who are going to break you down. You need guys that can get up and down and beat you off the dribble. We're slow all over the place in the starting lineup. And my thing is, I want to ask you guys this. I'd love to hear both of you answer this. My thing is, with the starting lineup, we kill everybody, right? We get on Mitch for having no offense. We get on Randle because it's too much ISO. We get on the new guys. We get on Fournier and Kemba. But my thing is, this is R.J. Barrett's third year, right? Why is he always free of criticism? I don't hear any platform. I don't hear anybody criticize him. I don't get it. It's like they don't want to mention it. They don't want to talk about what they're seeing. I don't know if they're nervous, but I'm seeing it, and my concern level is really high. I mean, is this, the third year is basically when you see that jump, okay, this dude's going to be that guy. I never thought he was, to be honest, like even from Duke and when we first drafted him, I always thought he was going to be pretty good. Mm-hmm. I never had a lot of Knicks fans say, he's going to be a star, superstar. I never really saw that. But now I'm just like, if you remember that draft, it was like, oh, this is a 3 superstar draft. As long as you get a top 3 pick, you're good. I think as of now, it's a 1-star draft. With the way Morant's looking, and like the shoot, if you look at his numbers, 15, the last 7 games, 29%, 18% from the field, 10 points a game. For the season, what's he? 15 points, 38%, 30% from 3, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Like, is this what we're looking for third overall pick? Like, where's? Let's
not forget that last year. I mean, first of all, I'll just say, everybody has their own developmental arc. So I just, not going to compare him to Ja Morant like that, because everyone develops differently. Everyone has different players around them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And last year, he started off rocky, and then he really started killing it at the end. So, let's see. Maybe this is something with him. Maybe he starts off slow. I don't know. But also, he's still the baby. He's the baby of the family. Right?
Yeah, I know. I get that. I know the age. I understand that. But I'm not comparing him to Frank and Knox, but people said that to me, too, about Frank and Knox. They're 20, they're 21, and, where are they now? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not even talking about his age. I'm not even talking about his age, right? But he's one of the baby. Like, my grandmother, after all the grandkids and everybody grew up, she, her niece's son, she started to raise him, right? And he came as a baby. And till this day, nobody can, it doesn't matter what he does, no one can tell her nothing about him. Is like, shut up, leave him alone. Right. Because he's the baby. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel
with RJ. It's like, you can't mention it. You can't bring it up. You know what I'm saying?
but I mean, I think people do.
Yeah, kind of. Not as much, though. I feel like he's getting off the hook a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. I just feel like we should criticize everyone. We need more from him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we do. My thing is with him, he's very slow. Like, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have hops. Like, that's why he gets blocked at the hoop a lot, right? Like, he doesn't really have the hops. He's not very quick. Like, he had that stretch of like 4 or 5 games where he was finishing really, really well at the hoop. I was like, this could be huge if he's, finally learning how to be consistent finishing at the hoop. And now you see the last 7, 8 games, back to dismissing these bunnies, these easy layups. You got to hit those, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys think his upside is? Like, like, I don't want, I know you look at play. I do, but personally, I don't know if that's fair, but I look at players where they were drafted. You know what I'm saying? Like, 3rd overall pick, you hope you're going to get, that dude. You know what I mean? Like, is he just going to be a very good role player? Like, do you think there could be way more there? Like, what do you guys think?
I think we got to.
All right, Kev. Ain't nobody
hold up, Kev.
I'm just saying. I mean, the way he's presenting it, it's like he wants to give up on the guy.
No, he was just asking.
I ain't saying give up.
Why he doesn't?
Are you happy with this from a 3rd overall pick? What he's doing the last 7, 8, 9 games?
Okay,
like, we gotta be real, no? Like,
I'm not happy. I would expect him to be further along, but I do agree with Sim. Everybody develops at a different pace. I will say this, that you are right in the fact that he doesn't get criticized enough. I will say that.
That's
you
my
can
whole
still
point.
like a player
and criticize them.
Like, I like Randle. He's my favorite player on the team, but I criticize him all the time. He's not playing well.
Right.
And you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
when RJ went on that 5-game streak, he's going to be the number one. He's ready for the keys. He's ready for that. He's stunk up the joint since then. You don't hear nothing from the RJ fans, but he's 19, he's 20, he's 21. So I get it. I still, I'm not ready to give up on RJ. I am a bit concerned.
No, I'm not. Yeah, right.
But I do think, he doesn't get criticized enough. There is the way this team is right now is a perfect opportunity for RJ to swoop in there and make a name for himself. We're not playing well behind Randle's until Chicago wasn't even playing well. This is a perfect opportunity to swoop in there and show what you can do. Nobody's going to stop you from doing that.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying, man. Everyone should get the criticism, especially someone where we got him in that draft, right?
I feel you.
You gotta I just want him to be consistent, man, and just take another step. That's all I'm saying. And he should get, a lot of the hate. I think, in my opinion, a lot of the struggles recently, I'm putting most of the blame on him, whether that's wrong or not. He's supposed to be our probably second best player, and right now he's.
I wouldn't put most of it on him. I wouldn't put most of it on him. I think he's a big part of it. I couldn't say most of it is RJ's fault, but
he's
a
nice
big part of it,
right? You would say, right?
What'd you say?
At least a nice, part of it. A big part of it, right? Like, he's got to get a nice part of the blame, right?
Oh, definitely. He gets a
his
big
defense
part
has been good. I'm not denying that. His defense has been really good. I'm not gonna front and say it hasn't. He's definitely defended Levine real well. The thing I noticed about his defense, his on-ball defense is really, really good. But I feel like his team defense at times isn't really good. Like, he gets the back door a ton off ball, and at times he sags off his man too much to go and double, then he doesn't get back in time, and it leaves the guy open from three. But his on-ball defense is really, really good. I'm not denying that. His defense has been solid. But I just want more consistency offensively, and I just think he should get more blame than people give, That's pretty much it. But you guys have a great Thanksgiving, all right?
Yeah, you too, man. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate the call.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
I think it's going to be like this with RJ until there's, a new baby in the family. And I'm not talking about one of the guys that's on the bench, like Grimes and those guys that's on the bench and not playing much. Like, when you get, or let's just say Quentin Grimes, all of a sudden, he plays well and he starts to get 20, 30 minutes a game, right? And then people are going to shift and okay, well, we got to let him grow, and people are going to start looking at RJ like, okay, you've been here for a while, buddy. What's going on? Right now, he's still the what did Phil Jackson say Carmelo was? The gold, not the golden child. I forgot what it says. The favorite son or something like that. That's what RJ is right now, right? He's the favorite son. Caller, you live. Tell me your name and where you're from.
Yo, this is Ray from Brooklyn, New York. Called in, I think about a week ago with Adam, the guy from Houston. Well, not from Houston, currently living in Houston. I want to first off say shout out to the panel, Stephanie, Corner Kev, a.k.a. Star Chops's man. What's poppin'?
What's going on?
I want to get through a couple of points real quick. I'm going to keep this short, sweet, and concise. 3 things, okay? I'm going to address tonight's game, Knicks' identity, and the NBA landscape and how they all correlate with each other. Starting with number 1, tonight's game. I want to see intensity, period, end of story. I just want to see if guys won, because that was the differentiating factor between last year and this year. We were in every single game last year. You want to know why? Because of intensity, because of urgency, because of effort and intensity. We came to play every single night. And that, again, is the difference between why we looked the way we did last year and the way we look this year. That leads me to my second point, Knicks' identity. This idea of whatever we are, the reason why we are not doing so well the way we are right now is because we have no identity. If we lean back on our identity, I think these things could turn around for us. And what's our identity? Defense. You hired a defensive guru who has had a historical record of outperforming in the second year wherever he's been. So, yeah, we need to turn up that intensity on defense. And third, with the landscape of the NBA, this play-in has changed the entire course of the NBA.
Yeah.
This play-in, man, this play-in, it's got every team basically thinking that they can win. You can't tell me right now, even just based on the hard schedule we have right now, who we are a lot to win against. Why? Because teams now believe that they can get into the playoffs, which is also incentivizing players to basically stay where they're at. There's no more of this. I think the play-in is going to shut down this player movement as we've seen in the past, because players are not going to be incentivized to stay and collect their $50 million like this is Monopoly. No one's just getting up and going places because it's, hey, we can go somewhere. So, you know, again, I think we need to get back to the defensive aspect. That is the focus. That is the catalyst. It all starts with intensity. That's what we're known for. We're New Yorkers. Like, that's what we do. We do defense. We do intensity, hustle, effort. That's what we've been built on, not this sort of flashy, oh, yeah, let's just put up 120 points. That's not our calling card. And it's one of the major reasons. Shout out to Uncle Julio. I was watching the episode on, I think it was Sunday, versus the Bulls that you guys had in the morning, where he mentioned this one thing that's an unpopular take, Ben Simmons. Listen, I understand there's a massive love affair for Julius Randle, okay? As I said the last time I called, I'm a New York Knicks fan. I'm not a New York Julius Randle fan, a New York Knicks fan. So whatever is going to make us better, that is what I'm going to go for. And with someone like Ben Simmons, this defense, I mean, your numbers go up defensively. They go up assist-wise, rebound-wise. You just got to figure out the Mitch thing. But, again, that's a different conversation to have. December 15th, a.k.a. winter is coming. You know, we can do all that, you know, down the road. But as it stands right now, I need to see intensity. I need to see the defense.
All right. I mean, the defense has played a lot better over the past 7 games. I'll say that. They played a lot better. If you go look at the numbers over the past 7 games, they've been holding teams. The Bulls scored 109 points, but they've been holding teams to like 100 points or less over the last 7 games. So they've played better. There's still some work to be done, you know, but they've played better. Now, we went through a stretch where they were playing terrible defensively, but they're you know, I think they're starting to play better. But are you saying that you want to trade Julius Randle for Ben Simmons?
I am saying that you either have it or you don't. I want to get off. I don't honestly, in my heart of hearts, want to trade Julius Randle. It's not something I want to do. However, I need to see this whole idea of, oh, yeah, they got to figure it out. They got to figure it out. Well, if that's the case, this goes back to my second point, the Knicks' identity. Are we a playoff team, or are we a play-in team, or are we, quote-unquote, rebuilding? If we are rebuilding, then, yeah, sure. Go ahead and use your consolation prize, okay, and sell high. He's like a stock. His percentages went up 500%. You sell high before that stock turns downward. And that's how I'm looking at it. And another thing, for the panel, if you believe that Obi Toppin is a 20 and 10 guy, if he can get you 18 points and 8 rebounds every single night, why am I still holding on to Julius Randle?
I mean,
why?
I'm not sure. I believe that he's going to get you 18 and 8 every single night if he's getting 30 minutes.
I mean, in 30 minutes, Tim, let's be honest. He was able to get you 12 and 14 points in like 12 minutes the other night.
Yeah, that's
every single night, though.
It's one game, and I don't want to be hyperbolic and jump out the window and all that different stuff. All I'm simply saying is I want to see results. And it's either you got it or you don't. You don't have the luxury and the time to wait to, quote-unquote, figure it out, while the Washington Wizards have figured it out. The Chicago Bulls have figured it out. Other teams are now looking at you and going, yeah, you're not that scary. Because, again, we've lost that identity, which, again, points to what I said in my points earlier about the fact that teams feared us because you knew you had to show up and play. Are you telling me that this is the roster that is going to take us above and beyond without that intensity, especially on defense?
Well, I mean, one, I don't think even the front office thought that this was going to be your final roster that took you above and beyond. I think this was just another, they were looking at this as another stepping stone, right? To hopefully get better, and that needed to include playing defense. So I think that they thought that maybe they would take a notch or two back on defense, but it would still be top 10. And then they take a step forward on offense, which would propel them forward. It hasn't been there yet.
Right.
Hasn't been there yet. We'll see what happens, Ray. We'll see what happens, man. But hey, Ray, I appreciate your time, man. I gotta run. See if I can get a couple of calls in. But great call, man. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you. Have a good one. The Ben Simmons for Julius Randle.
Negative.
I'm not feeling that.
I'm not with that. If anything, it's a lateral move. He doesn't shoot the ball from three. Now you got Mitch and you got Ben Simmons at your 4 and 5 spot that can't shoot the ball from three. That doesn't work for me.
Sure doesn't.
You know what I mean? I don't. And then Ben Simmons got a bunch of attitude problems. That go beyond. If people don't like Julius Randle's body language, or people say he's stubborn here or there. Ben Simmons, his stuff goes beyond that. It goes beyond that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which is one of the reasons why it's tough for Philadelphia to move him, because nobody wants to deal with that. No one has time. Like he was saying, there's parity across the league. I mean, all the way down to the 11th seed in the Eastern Conference. There's only 15 teams in the Eastern Conference. All the way down to the 11th seed, teams are 500. The Hawks are 9-9, and they're the 11th seed. The Raptors are just below them at 8-10, and they're the 12th seed. And the Pacers are 8-11, they're the 13th seed. Right? I mean, it's entirely possible that in the Eastern Conference, the 13th seed will be 500 to end the season.
To end the season and not make the playoffs.
And not make the playoffs. Not even make the play-in. It's entirely possible. So there's a lot of parity across the league. The Western Conference isn't as good. So you know what? Teams ain't taking it. Teams that are looking and saying, I can get into the play-in, they may not, be looking to take a chance on Ben Simmons right now.
Let me ask you both a question. I know this is a Knicks podcast, but he mentioned, I think he mentioned Washington a little bit. How sustainable do you think the Washington team is?
Very.
Very. I tried telling you before the season. I tried telling y'all I think they're going to be nice.
Yeah, I'm looking at their roster. I mean, they have a number one in Beal, and then some really good role players. So that's why I'm asking how sustainable it is. In other words, if Beal goes down, do you think it's sustainable? If somebody other than Beal,
if anybody best player goes down, how sustainable is it?
Right. If anybody,
what I mean?
It's going to be tough.
I mean, that team. Look at that team, and Brian is even out. Y'all remember when I was doing 1 through 8, I had them, I think 4 or 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was high on them from the beginning of the season. Yeah. I thought they were going to be good. I didn't know they were going to be this good.
Right.
But I thought they were going to be good. I was like, watch out.
Why did y'all think that?
Because of the depth of their roster.
Yeah. And last year, their offense, first of all, they started to come on last season. Did they make the playoffs? Did they make the play-in? I think they did.
They weren't. I think they were in the play-in.
Yeah, they made the play-in. They started off at the bottom of the East, and they worked themselves back up to get into the play-in. And I feel like the addition of Spencer Dinwiddie and the way that he would mesh with Bradley Beal, I thought was way better than Russell Westbrook.
Right.
And all they needed to do was get their defense to be competitive, and they'd be a lot better.
Right. And they are. KCP is in there just for his defense.
Yep.
and some 3-point shooting. You got Harrell coming off the bench.
Right.
You got Kuzma stepping up. I mean, that
right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So and like
Okay,
they did a
that was
good
the main
job.
question.
They
Yeah,
did a
that was
good
the main
job
question.
when they traded Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
They brought back some guys they brought back a roster. Some guys that had been to the championship, to the NBA Finals, won the NBA Finals.
Guys that we're trying to find for our roster, pretty much.
They did a good job reshaping that team. Man, but I don't know. What's up, Kev? What's your thoughts about tonight, man?
Well, first off, salute to my brother and sister on the panel here, Steph and Sam. Salute to the chat. I know it's early, but I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving coming up this Thursday. For
it's going to be better if the Knicks win.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We have a tough stretch of games coming up, and yeah, LeBron's not playing tonight, but they're still the Lakers, and we can easily lose this game as well. I'm hoping we don't. You are right, Sam. I think the defense has improved. The only thing I'm concerned with is getting those easy buckets, not missing those easy buckets. So, to be honest, I think that's where we kind of lost the game. Our previous game was missing, a lot of those chippies,
mm-hmm.
and we couldn't, recover from that. If you're at the basket, you got to hit the shot when nobody's on. You have the ability to hit the shot. You got to hit the shot.
Yeah, that's one of your cornerstones who be missing them layups.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And to the other previous caller, I'm one of those people that does. I mean, you heard me. I was jumping on RJ. Yeah, I love RJ, but I was jumping on him. You got to make those shots. He was looking like Alfred Payton. When Alfred Payton would get to the rack and miss the.
He wasn't looking that bad, but right. I mean, maybe he is.
For that game right there, he was. For that game, he was. So, but yeah, I think like I said, I think the defense has improved, and I think we have a chance to win. I think we have a chance to win.
I think we're gonna win tonight. Personally, I think we win tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I think we win tonight. Probably lose to Phoenix, and I think we can beat Atlanta. But I think we win tonight. I think they're gonna come ready. There's a little pressure on them, I think, but I think they're gonna respond to it tonight. They're gonna step up and be ready to play. I just hope that not having, if AD is out, it doesn't cause a letdown. They knew LeBron wasn't going to be there, right? So they could prepare for that mentally, but hopefully not having AD doesn't cause, an emotional letdown where they feel, they're not as, they're not as hyped for the game or whatever you want to say. Hopefully not. But, they know the situation right now, and they know they need to get a win because the way things look in the Eastern Conference right now, one loss sends you
right.
The Knicks are in the 9th seed right now. If they would
ninth seed.
If they would have beat Orlando, they'd be in the 5th seed right now. Because if they would have beat Orlando, they would be 10-7. Right now, the 5th seed is the Charlotte Hornets at 11-8.
Right, and that's what I was saying about the winnable games. Each game that we played, probably aside from the second Milwaukee game, each one of those games were winnable games. We weren't blown out by anybody this year. You have to win those winnable games. With our stature, you have to. You have to. All right? You're not supposed to be losing to an Orlando team twice on your home floor. That's not supposed to happen.
I mean, you're not, but they did.
They did.
I mean,
right. So now going forward, you have to work double hard to get these wins coming up because, again, it's a tough stretch. You have to get these wins and try and shake off the stigma of A, that you can't win at home, and B, that you're trying to build off of what you did from last year. You're trying to, get those, two obstacles in your favor.
Yeah.
because the losses, we should not have more losses at home than we do away. That's just not that's not logical at all.
No, I mean, so, we shouldn't, but
like you said, it's happened. So now we have to shake those off going forward.
Yeah, we are the Knicks are, of all the teams that have a 500 or better record, there's only 2 teams that have a losing record at home. That's us and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Everybody else has
Cleveland is good.
Everybody else
Cleveland is good too. Even Cleveland is good.
Oh no, work is calling you or something, Kev. What's going on over there? What's going on over there? You got sound like aliens calling you home, man.
I'm working from home, man. I'm working from home for today and tomorrow, so that's the good thing. And everything. But yeah, yeah, Cleveland is a good team now. So yeah, y'all are right. I mean, the East has gotten way better.
Yeah,
it's gotten way better.
Way better.
And you got to bring your A game all the time now.
That's right.
You got to bring your A game all the time.
You got to come ready, man, because one loss can send you reeling. I mean, if the Knicks lose tonight, they could essentially fall out of the play-in, or I don't know if the Hawks play tonight or not, but they could fall out of the play-in or to the 10th seed. The Hawks do not play tonight. So if the Knicks do lose, they would likely fall to the 10th seed.
Right.
So
I mean, it's just amazing because when we all went to the first game of the season and we won in double overtime, you had great thoughts, going into the next few games. I mean, we beat Orlando handedly, and then you expect them to win again at home, and then we lost. It's like, okay, we'll shake that off and everything, and we beat Philly twice. But then we just lose. We have these losses that you're just shaking your head. You're just shaking your head.
I mean, yeah. But let's see. Let's just see what happens. Sometimes there's the ups and downs of a season. You go through stretches. Your stretches can, you can have good stretches early, bad stretches early, good stretches late, bad stretches late.
Yeah.
My hope is like I was saying the other day, is start dialing this thing back and focusing on small goals, staying at 500 or better, and then hopefully things start to either this roster starts to come together or a move is made that boosts them, gives them a boost. Either one, and then
right. So you talk about those small goals. I know one of those small goals was to have, an above 500, record. And for a while we were having that. And now it's just like, the losses, each loss has taken away.
Yeah, the losses are mounting because we keep going like 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, something like that, so the losses are mounting.
When are we going to have a consistent, win 4 straight or win 3 straight?
I don't know.
I know, but you know what?
I don't know.
You're right. Because again, with this, all right. So let me play devil's advocate right here. Let's say
I gotta go, guys. But it's actually 4:40. I'm sorry about that.
All right, no problem.
Appreciate you, Steph. I'm getting ready to head out myself so I can get the practice. But yeah, we'll be at the post game tonight.
Okay, so post game.
Knicks win.
Knicks win. Okay, all right. Just real quick, Sam, because I know you got to go. Let's say, playing devil's advocate, that we win like 3 or 4 in a row, or even 5 against these good teams. Mm-hmm. You're going to say to yourself, okay, you've done this against these teams right here that are playoff teams, and then you lose to teams that are below 500. You're going to shake yourself and be like, you're going to shake your head and be like, how come you can get up for these guys, but you can't take care of business, especially at home, against the lower echelon teams?
I mean, listen, that happens. If you're not one of the top teams in the league, that happens. Just look at all the standings. Everybody's jumbled up. Yeah. Your top teams, they beat the people they're supposed to beat.
Right. Yeah.
Your teams that aren't top teams, They can beat some good teams, but sometimes they don't get up for those teams that they're supposed to beat. Because if we beat the teams that we were supposed to beat, we'd be one of the top 4 teams in the East right now.
Right.
Because we're not that far off anyway. We're 3.5 games back from first place in the Eastern Conference. If we beat the teams we're supposed to beat, Orlando, I don't know if we're supposed to beat Cleveland right now because Cleveland is good. But if we beat the teams we're supposed to beat, I'm going to say Orlando. I'm not even going to look at anybody else. I'm just going to say Orlando.
Orlando, that's fine. Okay,
we beat Orlando 3 times. We should have been 3-0 against Orlando. And we beat them 3 times. We're 12-5.
Right.
And we're in second place in the Eastern Conference.
Exactly.
Those are the teams you're supposed to beat. You beat them 3 times this season. We're 12-5.
Right. I mean, beating Orlando was supposed to be expected, whereas us beating Philly, no matter what the circumstances were for Philly, because we beat them 2 straight times now, that was supposed to be like the quote unquote measuring stick, and we beat them twice already. But then you lose 2 games to Orlando, and it's like things that make you go,
Yeah, the thing is, we got to beat the teams that we're really supposed to beat. We haven't done that this season.
No.
You know what I mean? And really, you can point to the Orlando game. You can't say that about Cleveland anymore. You can point to the Orlando games. You win those 2 games.
Cleveland's for real. Cleveland's for real.
Yeah, they seem to be. You win those Orlando games, and right now we're looking really different. Everything looks really different as far as our record is concerned. You know, and people are saying now, if we beat Orlando those 2 times, people are saying the Knicks aren't playing well, but they're winning enough games to stay afloat until they, until they're able to make it, until they get better.
Oh, somebody in the chat mentioned Toronto. That's another team too. Toronto.
Well, but Toronto is. Yeah, but Toronto's a decent team.
At the time that we played Toronto, Toronto was reeling. They were reeling.
They had lost some games, but it doesn't mean that they're not a good team. They're 8-10 right now. You know what I'm saying? And they've beat some teams. They can say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? If they get one other win, they're 9-9. You know what I mean?
Right.
So. Yeah, that's the way it is in the Eastern Conference. So you got to come to play. The Knicks got to come to play tonight. I think they're going to beat the Lakers tonight.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Again, my keys to the game, stay loose. Don't get tense. Worry about the team, not star power. We know the Lakers got star power. We're not going to match their star power. Just worry about the team. Don't worry about star power. Help out on help out on Westbrook. Help Kemba with Westbrook. It's going to need it, especially if AD and LeBron is out. Westbrook is going to try to go ham tonight. So
absolutely,
you got to make sure that you're helping Kemba. Gang rebound. Absolutely. They got people that can rebound. If Anthony Davis plays, you got Anthony Davis, DeAndre Jordan, Dwight Howard. Melo can rebound.
Yeah.
Right? And then especially in the second unit, you got Dwight Howard down there in the second unit. And we have nobody in the second unit. We have no big man in the second unit. No center in the second unit. Okay? So, that leaves all of the pressure on Obi to rebound, which, he can rebound from time to time, but he's going to need help.
And Sim, you know what else? The Lakers, they don't have a Caruso. So I don't know defensively who their stopper is. So again, this is a team that, under the circumstances, we should win.
I think we should win, but they got a Russell Westbrook out there, they got a Melo, and maybe an Anthony Davis. They still got some people that can play ball.
Well, if they don't have Davis, all right, let's say this: if they don't have Anthony Davis, I believe that we should be winning this game.
Okay, all right. And we get a lead, we got to protect it. We need fourth quarter execution, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
See what we do tonight. Absolutely. I'm going to head to practice so I can teach my girls how to have some fourth quarter execution.
Absolutely. All
right.
Absolutely.
But, we're okay. We got middle school players on my varsity team right now. They're good, cool. But, so we got a lot to learn. I'll be updating you guys over the season, but, I got a feeling it could be a long one this year. But, hey, we learning this. This is what it's all about. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to remind you that on November the 30th, that's just 1 week from now, we'll be having a live podcast and watch party at Legends at 6 p.m. We're watching the Knicks versus the Nets. Make sure you join us. You can register at nbkfam.com. The link is in the description of this video. So as soon as we get off, make sure that you register. It's free, no cost. We just want to know who's coming, so make sure you do it now. I want to see you there. It's going to be dope. We're going to have a good time. All right, we'll be there till about midnight or something like that. We'll do a live podcast. We'll watch the game. Then we'll do the post-game show. So make sure you check us out, ladies and gentlemen. And then, of course, the pregame show is sponsored by The Game Day. For your most up-to-date sports content and betting odds, go to Game Day. Before you place those bets on tonight's game or any other game, go to The Game Day, see what's happening, figure out what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and then place your bets. All right? The link is also in the description of this video. We're out of here. Cornerstone, I appreciate your time, man.
I will see you later on tonight. You'll either see me with a smile or a frown. Yes, you'll either see me with a smile or a frown.
Smile or a frown. All right, boy, you're going to see me with a smile no matter what. I'm out of here.
Yeah,
and BK,
brother.
nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.